Today I'm going to talk about compositional guidelines, more specifically the rule of thirds and the golden ratio. Now these aren't specifically photography guidelines, they're pretty much general art related guidelines, but they do apply to photography just like any other artistic medium. Let's start off with the rule of thirds. It's basically defined with a grid. You've got a grid and 4 lines equally spaced, 2 vertical, 2 horizontal. So at the intersection of those lines, that's where you put your subject. It's pretty simple. You try that out sometime, you'll see a difference. Allowing the background to have a little bit of interest to it. Photograph of a model. You stick them right in the center of the frame. It seems a little bland. You move them off to the side a little bit and you give the background some interest. You find something interesting for the background. That gives you kind of an equalized photograph. Now it's not a fixed rule, it's a guideline. And if it doesn't feel right to you, you don't have to use it. The other guideline is called the golden ratio. Now this one's a really technical guideline. I'm not going to go over all of the mathematical background to it, but I'll just say basically you've got a number 1 to 1.618. It's kind of confusing. So 1 to 1.618. You take your frame and you divide it into that ratio. Basically got a vertical line there. It can be on either side. You can have the thinner side. It doesn't matter. Now this one's pretty close to the rule of thirds. Slight difference depending on how you use it. Here's a good example of that golden ratio. You can see that I'm on the side of the photo right in that area for the golden ratio, and then you've got in the background the great mountains. So I think that's a perfect textbook example of that golden ratio. Those are just 2 simple ways to look at those compositional guidelines. There's a lot more to them. I suggest you do some research on them and see if it can help you improve your framing or just enhance what you do. Thanks.